It's a moment that's been living rent-free in the minds of Bears fans, and especially in the head of Tariq Stevenson. But now, the stage is set for redemption. The same field where it all went wrong could now be the place where he writes a new chapter in his story. The Hail Mary in Washington? Yeah, you remember it. Everyone remembers it. But now, so does he? Every second of it. And not just as a mistake, but as a lesson that seems to have sparked something different in him. Something better. Because if you've been watching Tariq Stevenson over the last few weeks, you're seeing a different version of the player who turned his back on that final play. He's not hiding from it anymore. In fact, he's finally opening up about it in a real way. He sat down with veteran safety Kevin Byard on the Intercepted podcast and didn't run from the narrative. He faced it head-on. And then again, in a one-on-one with The Athletic, Stevenson dove deeper into what that moment really meant to him. Not just in terms of football, but as a turning point in his mindset, in his growth, and in how he carries himself on and off the field. He admitted what we all saw that night. A moment of selfishness, a lapse in focus, and a complete breakdown in responsibility. But what stands out now isn't just the mistake itself. It's how he's choosing to use that moment as fuel. He said, just to see people try to define who I'm off one play, one game out of the other 30-something I had. At the end of the day, I got to take it. I wear it. That's not who I am, but that's who I showed I was. And actions speak louder than words. That kind of self-awareness? That's not easy, especially in a league where pride is everything and accountability doesn't always come naturally. He went on to say he watches that video on purpose, not to torture himself, but to make sure he remembers exactly what not to do. That Hail Mary, where instead of being the safety valve in the back of the end zone like he was supposed to be, he rushed upfield trying to make a play that wasn't his to make, has become a symbol of what happens when emotion clouds judgment. And yeah, maybe you believe in karma, maybe you don't. But even he admitted that what happened felt like karma coming full circle. Jawing with fans in the front row before the play, not set, not focused, abandoning his assignment. And then, boom, a tipped ball, a touchdown, a loss, a team spiraling, and a rookie corner left holding the blame. But this isn't just a sob story or a redemption cliche, because what we're seeing now is real growth. Tariq Stevenson isn't just playing better, he's playing smarter. He's finding that line between fire and foolishness, aggression and control. Remember last year? The pokes, the personal fouls, the antics after the whistle? That stuff hasn't shown up this season. Not in the way it used to. And that's huge. That shows maturity. That shows a guy who understands that to stick in this league, you can't just be talented. You've got to be reliable. You've got to be trusted. And that trust, especially from coaches and teammates, is something you earn over time. It's not just talk either. You look at his performance since stepping into a bigger role with Jalen Johnson sidelined. He's been that guy. 12 targets. Only 3 completions allowed. A diving interception against Geno Smith. Physical in coverage, focused in zone, quick in man. The tape is talking louder than any press conference could. And this is coming off a game where, let's be honest, he got cooked by Detroit. Amon-Ra, St. Brown made him look lost. Jameson Williams got behind him. It was ugly. But what separates pros from pretenders is how they respond. And Tariq responded like a pro. And it's funny how this all ties back to confidence. Because what he admitted in that interview with The Athletic was probably the most important piece of all. He said after that infamous Hail Mary, he wasn't playing to make plays. He was playing not to make mistakes. He was self-conscious, walking on eggshells, not the same swagger, not the same fire. And that's exactly what we saw on the field. A guy second-guessing every move, playing slow, playing scared. And when you're a cornerback in the NFL, hesitation is a killer. If you hesitate, you're already beat. And for a good stretch of last season, Tariq was getting beat a lot. But now, he's trusting himself again. You can see it. You can feel it. There's a certain energy he brings when he's locked in. That next play mentality is back. That fight, that fire. That little bit of attitude you need to play corner at a high level. And make no mistake, he needed that final game of last season against Green Bay. He played one of his best games, helped the Bears get a win, and carried that momentum into the offseason, where he had to fight for his job. And he won it. Now here we are, full circle. back in Washington. And you know this one means more. He even said it himself. I'm fixing to write the F out of this. I'm trying to write one of this year's bestsellers. And this might be the best chapter. That's a man who's not afraid of the moment anymore. That's a man who's taking ownership, who's using the pain as power. And it's not about revenge. It's not about proving fans or critics wrong. It's about proving to himself that he's not defined by that low light, that he's more than one play. And you can bet the coaching staff sees that too. Defensive coordinator Ben Johnson had high praise for Stevenson, especially after the Raiders game. Called it his best performance to date. Talked about how his confidence is growing week by week. How he's finally starting to look like a complete corner. Someone who can play man, zone, and come up and hit in the run game. That's the version of Tyrique Stevenson the Bears thought they were getting when they spent a second-round pick on him. That's the guy they need now more than ever. Because with Johnson still dealing with injuries, Kyler Gordon out, and no clear timeline for either of them to be back at full speed, it's Stevenson's secondary to lead. And he's embracing it. He's taking on WR1S, he's challenging routes at the line of scrimmage, and he's winning reps. He's doing it his way too. Press coverage, physicality, and that classic cornerback swagger. The same stuff that got him here in the first place. Let's not forget, this is a player who started his college career at Georgia as a safety. He knows what physical football looks like. He knows how to read a field. Then he made the move to Miami to play corner full-time, betting on himself. And that gamble paid off when the Bears called his name. He's big, long, fast, and not afraid to hit. He's built for today's NFL, and now he's finally playing like it. And if you're the Bears coaching staff, especially Dennis Allen, you've got to lean into that right now. You've got to ride the hot hand. You've got to trust him. If Terry McLaurin suits up this week, you shadow him with Stevenson. Make it personal. Let him know this is his matchup to win. McLaurin isn't the type of receiver who gives Tyrique trouble. He's not twitchy. He's not going to run right by him. He's a route technician, sure, but those are the guys Stevenson can hang with. Use his size, his hands, his instincts. Let him battle. Let him write this chapter the right way. Because this is more than just a regular season game in October. This is redemption. This is personal. This is the kind of moment that can redefine a career. And for Tyrique Stevenson, it's a chance to prove to himself, to his teammates, to his coaches, and yeah, to the fans, that one play doesn't define a player. What defines you is how you bounce back. And right now, he's bouncing back in a big way. If Tyrique Stevenson can put together a performance this week that matches the fire and focus we've seen recently, it won't just be about shutting down a top receiver or locking in on the X's and O's. It'll be about closure. It'll be about putting to rest a moment that has followed him for an entire year. Because as much as he says it doesn't define him, as much as he's grown from it, the truth is that clip, the one where he abandons his assignment and tries to punch the ball away, is still part of the conversation. It's still out there, being shared, being replayed, being remembered. It's the kind of mistake that sticks with you. But now he has a chance to flip the narrative. You talk to any elite cornerback in the league, and they'll tell you the same thing. The difference between good and great is mental. It's about having a short memory, yes, but also about knowing exactly who you are when things go wrong. And for Tyrique, that process didn't happen overnight. It took some real soul searching. It took admitting that his confidence was shot after that game, that he was playing scared, that he wasn't himself. And how often do you hear young players actually say that out loud? That's what makes this whole thing feel different. This isn't just a guy who's playing better. This is someone who's had to rebuild his foundation from the ground up. And he's doing it right in front of us. Game by game. Snap by snap. It's visible. And it's rare. You can see the shift in his body language. He's not playing tentative anymore. He's playing fast. He's playing free. And that's what made him special coming out of college. Even as a rookie, when he got beat. And yes, he got beat plenty. He never looked rattled. He had that bounce-back energy. He'd give up a big play and come back the next series with the same level of intensity. But after Washington last year, that version of Tyrique disappeared for a while. He looked hesitant. He second-guessed his reads. He stopped trusting his instincts. And when you're not playing instinctual football, especially at corner, you're already a step behind. But now the instincts are back, and so is the swagger. The hits are crisper. The press coverage is tighter. The footwork at the line is sharper. And maybe most importantly, the confidence is real again. Not fake it till you make it confidence. Not social media confidence. Real, earned confidence. Confidence built through reps, through setbacks, through hard conversations with coaches and teammates. Confidence that was built the long way. That's why his recent stretch of games has felt so meaningful. It's not just about the numbers, though the numbers have been impressive. It's about the timing. With the secondary banged up, with the team needing someone to step up, Tariq didn't just fill in. He elevated. He embraced the pressure. And he's playing some of the best football of his young career because of it. Why? Oh, you look at what he did against the Raiders. That wasn't just a good game, it was a statement. Sticky in man coverage. Physical at the line. Quick transitions. An interception. Multiple pass breakups. A coverage grade near the top of the league. That's not by accident. That's not a fluke. That's a guy who's finally putting it all together. And for the coaching staff, that's got to be incredibly encouraging. Because when you invest a high pick in a player like Tariq Stevenson, you're not just betting on measurables. You're betting on makeup, on mindset, on whether a guy can handle adversity when the spotlight gets too bright. And let's be honest, he's had more than his fair share of adversity already. The social media backlash, the viral clip, the internal doubt, the whispers about whether he could actually be a CB1. He's had to deal with all of it. And now, he's starting to answer. Ben Johnson said it best after the Raiders game. This is the most complete version of Tariq we've seen. And maybe it's not that a light switch suddenly flipped. Maybe it's just that the noise started to fade and the work started to show. Because one thing no one could ever question is his work ethic. He's a guy who puts in the time. And now it's paying off. The Bears are a team trying to find consistency, trying to find their identity. And Tariq Stevenson, of all people, is starting to emerge as a tone setter, a leader by example, not just with his play, but with his attitude. The reckless energy from last year, it's been replaced with focused aggression. The personal fouls, the extracurriculars, the drama after the whistle, it's gone. Or, at the very least, it's under control. That's a sign of maturity. That's growth. He's still going to play with an edge. He's still going to talk. He's still going to hit. But he's finally figured out how to channel it in a way that helps the team instead of hurting it. That's the version of Tariq Stevenson the Bears need. That's the version that can anchor a defense and change a game. And when you talk about matchups, there's real intrigue this week. If Terry McLaurin is healthy, and that's the guy Stevenson shadows, it's going to be one of the most compelling one-on-one battles of the week. And it's a smart matchup, because McLaurin isn't the burner who'll stretch the field vertically on every play. He's a technician. He wins with routes and positioning. He's physical. He's smart. And that's the kind of receiver Tariq can hang with. He matches up well with size and strength. He's not afraid to get physical off the snap. He's built for that kind of battle. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In what is shaping up to be one of the most shocking moves of the NFL offseason, whispers from league insiders suggest that Josh Allen has officially severed ties with the Buffalo Bills and reached an agreement to join the Chicago Bears. While nothing has been formally announced, the mere possibility of Allen leaving Buffalo has sent shockwaves through the football world, leaving fans and analysts scrambling to make sense of the sudden development. For years, Allen has been synonymous with the Bills' resurgence, spearheading one of the league's most dynamic offenses and delivering playoff heroics that seemed to cement his legacy in Buffalo. Rumors of discontent, however, have been circulating for months, with sources hinting at disagreements over team direction, contract extensions, and a desire for a fresh start in a new environment. The Bears, long in search of franchise quarterback to revive their struggling offense, appear to have moved decisively, capitalizing on what some are calling an unprecedented opportunity. Chicago's front office, eager to shake up a team that has underperformed in recent seasons, is reportedly offering Allen not only a massive contract, but also the promise of a roster designed to maximize his unique skill set. Insiders suggest that the Bears are ready to surround him with top-tier weapons, a revamped offensive line, and a coaching staff built to exploit his dual-threat capabilities. For Allen, The move could represent a chance to redefine his career, stepping out of the shadow of familiar rivalries and embracing the challenge of turning a storied but struggling franchise into a contender. Naturally, the news has ignited feverish debate among fans and pundits alike. Bills supporters are grappling with the possibility of life without their star quarterback, while Bears fans are cautiously optimistic, imagining a future where Chicago might finally reclaim its place among the NFL elite. Analysts are already speculating on how this seismic shift could reshape the AFC and NFC landscapes, with playoff predictions and trade chatter dominating sports shows and social media. While the situation is fluid and official confirmation remains pending, the rumor alone has transformed the offseason narrative. One thing is clear: if Josh Allen does indeed take his talents to the Windy City, the NFL, as we know it, might never look the same again. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.